Hello, hi, namaskar everyone. To get into the colleges of India, engineering colleges of India, you get to go through the JoSAA counseling. Now, what is JoSAA counseling? What is the process? We'll be briefing you about everything in this particular video. We'll talk about the whole process, the step-by-step admission guide, and then of course, how do you take admission into the colleges? First of all, JoSAA. What is JoSAA? JoSAA means Joint Seat Allocation Authority. This is the body which helps you in filtering out or getting the desired seat. Of course, if you are clearing the eligibility criteria of that particular institute. Now, what is that? We'll talk about that. And here, on the basis of this, you get admission based on your JEE Advanced, JEE Mains or rank in IIT, NIT, IIIT or GFTI. Now, first of all, please understand whether you are getting into admission into IIT or NIT or IIIT or GFTI, any institute if you are getting admission, the only way through which you'll have to go through is the JoSAA. And remember, there is no registration fee required for JoSAA. The registration fee is absolutely nil, absolutely zero. So the counseling process is absolutely free. Now, how does that happen or how does that take place? Right after your JEE Advanced results are announced, it begins. For example, let's say JEE Advanced results are coming for this year on 1st of June. It is as per the website. Then from 2nd of June, the JoSAA counseling will start taking place. Now, how does it happen? First of all, please understand these are the official dates mentioned on the website. Now, if I talk about the eligibility criteria to be considered for JoSAA counseling, all you need to understand is if you gave JEE Main exam, then you are eligible for JoSAA, and that cutoff is not, cutoff doesn't matter. Why am I saying so? Pay attention to this part. To get into IITs, you need to clear the cutoff JEE Mains, and then on the basis of your rank in JEE Advanced, you are eligible for IITs. That's a different scenario. But through JEE Main, what do you get? You can get admissions into NIT, IIIT or GFTI. So whichever college you want to get into, the process is pretty simple. One single counseling system, that is JoSAA. And yes, if you have qualified JEE Advanced as well, then the options to get into IITs are also open in your choice filling list. So when you are filling the colleges or the streams, the branches, then IITs will also open if you have cleared JEE Advanced. But apart from that, if you have cleared JEE Mains only, or if you have written JEE Mains, in that case, you will be eligible for NITs, IIIT and JFTIs based on your rankings and percentiles. Now, what is the process of counseling? It's really simple. It's pretty simple. First of all, you register yourself for the JoSAA counseling, which is absolutely free. Then you do the choice filling, the college priority order. For example, you're first of all filling, let's say you're cleared JEE Advanced, then IIT Delhi, then IIT Bombay, then IIT Madras and so on. And then you choose the branches as well and you write your own order, your preferred order. So the best ones, and then gradually you keep decreasing the order. Then NITs, IIITs, GFTIs and some colleges, state level colleges and all. When you fill this entire list there, then before your allotment, a mock seat allotment happens before your first round. And then the choice locking happens before the first round, and there is a problem. You should be very careful with this, that there can be no change in the choice filling after the next rounds. What does it mean? Let's say IIT Guwahati and IIIT Guwahati both are there, for example. So in that case, if you have filled IIIT Guwahati over IIT Guwahati, then in that choice filling IIIT Guwahati will be there. I hope I understand. So you should be very careful. Let's say NIT Delhi, IIT Delhi. Let's say mistakenly you have written NIT Delhi instead of IIT Delhi. Then it's a problem. It will not be changed. So you got to be very careful with the college priority order. Then of course seat allotment happens. And how does that process happens? Let's talk about that. First of all, when seat allotments happens, let's say you're allotted a seat. Let's say you're given a seat. Then you need to download your seat allotment later, and then you have three options: freeze, slide or float. Now what does it mean? Freeze means you have fixed this, that this is what you're getting and you're happy with that. Or let's say if you're going with this slide or float option, it means you are okay with any option better than this as well. So if you click on slide or float, that means any option which is better than your. So here you got to be very careful that whatever institute or branch you have gotten, then above that all the other institutes or branches are good than what you have already gotten, then only you should go for slide and float. And otherwise, of course, we fill it in this manner only, that best, then better, then good, and then this is how your order matters. So this is how you can fix it. You can decide whether you want to freeze it, whether you want to have this which is allocated to you, or you want to have a better option. So you have the choice to slide or float it. Then of course, once you have gotten the seat, your document verification happens. And yes, do remember that seat acceptance fees you have to pay, which means for general or EWS or OBC category students, it is 30,000 that you need to pay through JoSAA website, and for ST, SC or PW candidates, it is 15,000, which again you have to pay through the JoSAA website only. Now here, when you talk about the documents which are required for the verification purpose, that is 12th mark sheet, 10th mark sheet, category certificate, income certificate, and then identity proof like Aadhaar card, and then medical certificate, migration certificate, TC, transfer certificate, and if you are a dropper, then a gap year certificate. Now with that, what else is needed? There is an option of withdraw or exit. What does it mean? Let's say there is a candidate who has already accepted a seat, in, let's say, second or third round, can withdraw the seat till the fifth round for IITs. Let's say you have taken or accepted a seat in the second round, but you're not okay with that. So you can withdraw your seat till the fifth round if you are opting for IITs. Let's say for NITs, IIITs or GFTIs, you can withdraw the seat till the sixth round. That's the feature or advantage you have. Now, what is the next part? The partial admission fees also you need to pay, and that is for NIT only. Now, what does it mean? Let's say after the sixth round of JoSAA, the candidates who are allotted a seat in any round, whichever round, second, third, fourth, then if you have not cancelled, then you need to freeze your seat. Of course, one fee which you have already paid was SAF. Now you need to pay PF after the sixth round. What does it mean? Please understand. Now pay attention to this part. The NITs plus system are required to pay the partial admission fee from their JoSAA portal. Non-payment of the partial admission fee will be treated as a rejection of the offered or allocated seat. So after SAF, after the sixth round, you got to pay the PF as well. If you don't pay it, your seat will be denied, your seat will be rejected. You will not be allotted that seat. And what is PF? For again the candidates with the category ST, ST or PWD, it is of course 20,000, and for general EWS or OBC candidate, the PF is 45,000. Now moving ahead with that, the next conclusion, SF we have already discussed. After the seat allocation in any round for IITs, you need to pay 30,000, and for the other category students, it is 15,000. And PF also we have discussed. But remember, for IITs, there is no system of PF. All the remaining balance fee you need to pay through their respective IITs website only. That is, adjusted there only. But if you talk about SAF for IITs and NITs, triple ITs or GFTIs, then both are needed to be paid, SAF and PF, as we have already discussed. And yes, both are paid through the JoSAA website only. Now there one more catch is there. What is that? The balance fee, the remaining fees for NITs, triple ITs or GFTIs, that will be paid after the sixth round, and that is needed to be paid through their own websites. And if you're participating in the CSAB round, now what is CSAB? College level counseling, the spot round, which not most of the students are aware of. If you pay attention to this part, this is something for those kind of students who are having some low ranks. Then also you hold a good chance to get into NITs or triple ITs. Please have faith in my words, what I'm saying, that yes, CSAB rounds are there, and for CSAB means college level counselings, spot rounds. There 3 rounds will happen after the 6 rounds of those, and there admissions happen on the vacant seat, the remaining seats, the leftover seats of NITs, triple ITs and GFTIs. And yes, their students get a lot of opportunities and good opportunities where seats are vacant. And please avail this if you get a low rank. This is something for especially for those students who get low ranks. And there, the registration fee again for general EWS and OBC is 40,000 for CSAB rounds, and for SC, ST and PWD, it is 19,000. If you did not participate in JoSAA, or if you are not allotted any seat in the JoSAA rounds, then of course, this is what you need to pay. And remember, this is a good opportunity to get a college at a very good rank. So I hope you have gotten a decent clarity about JoSAA. If there is any confusion, do write your issues or concerns in the comment box. We'll definitely address them. With that, let's call it a day. Thank you so much. You have been a great audience. Take a good care of yourself.